Welcome to American English Education.
Nightingale. The Emperor of China had the most beautiful palace. People came from all over the world to see it. The rooms were huge. The windows were covered with draperies of the finest silk. The rugs were made by the best craftsmen in the world. The furniture was the highest quality. 100 gardeners worked in the palace gardens. They took care of thousands of plants. They grew and tended the rarest flowers. People came to see these beautiful things. They wanted to see things they had never seen before. They toured the palace and the gardens and were amazed at every turn. They wanted to see more when the tour was over. "Don't let our trip end," they said. The head gardener heard them. He knew where there was something more beautiful than any palace. It was more beautiful than any garden. "I can show you the most beautiful thing in all of China," he said. He led the visitors to a forest of very plain trees. He took them to one tree in particular. He pointed at a bird on a branch. The visitors looked up. "What is so beautiful about that?" they asked. "You led us all the way out here? You wanted us to see a plain gray bird?" "It is no ordinary bird," the gardener said. "It's a nightingale. Just wait." The nightingale opened its mouth. It started to sing. Its voice was beautiful. The nightingale made everyone feel joy. The visitors left with a memory of the nightingale's song. They told their friends about the bird. More people came to visit the palace, but they came for a different reason now. Everyone wanted to see the nightingale. Everyone wanted to hear his beautiful song. Everyone wanted to feel joy. The nightingale became known as the most beautiful thing in all of China. Everyone had heard about the remarkable bird. Everyone, that is, except for the emperor. The emperor was very old. He stayed inside. He liked his palace. He liked the view of his gardens, but nothing brought him joy. One day, the emperor received an important letter. It came from the Emperor of Japan. "I have heard of your wonderful nightingale," the Emperor of Japan wrote. "He is the most beautiful thing in all of China. Some people say he is the most beautiful thing in all the world. I must see this wonderful bird. I will arrive in 2 days to pay you a visit." The emperor was puzzled. He called for his prime minister. "The Emperor of Japan is coming to see my nightingale," he said. "He thinks I have a nightingale." "I do not have a nightingale. What will I show the Emperor of Japan when he arrives?" The emperor called all of his guards together. "Find me this beautiful nightingale," he said. His guards tried to do as they were told. They searched from the bottom of the palace to the top. They looked under every table and over every windowsill. They searched through every inch of the palace. They could not find the bird that everyone had heard about. "A beautiful nightingale?" they asked. "Nightingales are not beautiful. They are such plain birds. Where will we find a beautiful one?" The guards went to see the emperor at the end of the day. They had not found a beautiful nightingale. They had not even found a plain one. "The Emperor of Japan will be here soon," the emperor said. "He expects to see this nightingale. Get the servants to help you. The bird must be found. The bird must be found by tomorrow." The servants joined the search. They searched over the grounds. They looked in the branches of the trees. They looked on the leaves of the vines. They looked in the vegetable gardens. They looked in the flower beds. There were no nightingales on the palace grounds. The emperor had the gardeners join the search. No one knew where to look next. No one, that is, except the head gardener. He knew where to find the nightingale. He took everyone to the nightingale's tree. The guards hurried back from the woods. They took the bird to the emperor's throne room. "Well," said the emperor, "what is so special about this nightingale?" "We do not know," they answered. "It is an ordinary bird. We found the bird in an ordinary tree." A horn sounded just then. The Emperor of Japan had arrived. "Do not let the bird out of your sight," said the Emperor. He went to greet his visitor. "I have come a long way," said the Emperor of Japan. "I cannot wait to see the wonderful Nightingale." The Emperor took his guest to the throne room. "This is the famous Nightingale?" asked the Emperor of Japan. "This is the most beautiful thing in all of China? The bird looks rather plain to me." The Emperor of Japan looked disappointed. The Emperor of China was not enjoying his visitor. There was silence in the throne room. The nightingale opened its mouth. He sang the most beautiful song anyone had ever heard. The Emperor of Japan closed his eyes to listen. He smiled and sighed. The Emperor of China closed his eyes to listen too. He felt something he had not felt in a long time. He felt joy. The Emperor of Japan stayed for several days. He listened to the nightingale for hours. The Emperor of China listened with him. They never grew tired of the nightingale's song. After several days, the Emperor of Japan had to leave China. "Thank you for letting me hear this magnificent bird," he said. "I must find a way to thank you." The nightingale's song filled the palace. It always brought the old emperor great joy. It also brought visitors from all over the world. No one wanted to see the emperor's palace or his gardens. They cared only for the nightingale. "The nightingale sounds so lovely," the visitors said. "It's a pity he looks so plain." Those words upset the emperor. The nightingale's song brought him joy. He was happier than he had ever been before. "I will not allow any unkind words about the nightingale," he said. He ordered a golden perch for the nightingale to sit on. He ordered jewels and ribbons for the nightingale to wear. Now he will have a fine place to sit. He will look wonderful. But it is his beautiful song that counts, he said. "The bird looks almost as beautiful as he sounds," the visitors said. The nightingale sat on his golden perch every day. He wore his jewels. He wore his ribbons. He sang his song. He gave many people great joy. He was nice to watch and to listen to. But the emperor thought the nightingale looked unhappy. "Are you tired from singing?" the emperor asked. The nightingale continued to sing. "You must not sing if you're tired," the emperor said. "I want you to be happy." The nightingale continued to sing. "You are a dear friend," the emperor said. The emperor kept the nightingale in his private chambers at night. There were no golden perches to sit on. There were no jewels and ribbons to be worn. The nightingale could just be himself. The nightingale perched on the emperor's bedpost. He sang his songs only for the emperor. "You are the most beautiful thing in all of China," the emperor said. "Gold and jewels and ribbons make you look nice. They do not make you beautiful. You are most beautiful when you are yourself. You are yourself when you are singing." The nightingale sang a special song for the emperor. The emperor felt pure joy. He drifted off to sleep. A package arrived for the emperor. It was a present. It was from the Emperor of Japan. There was a card on the package. "I hope you enjoy this gift," it read. "It is a small token of my gratitude. You gave me a wonderful gift. The nightingale gave me great joy." The Emperor of China opened the present. It was a small toy bird. It was brightly painted. It was covered with emeralds, sapphires, diamonds, and rubies. There was a silver key on its back. The emperor turned the key. A song began to play. It did not sound as lovely as the real nightingale, but it would make the visitors very happy. It was very beautiful to look at. The emperor ordered a second golden perch. He placed the toy bird upon it. He turned the key. Now you will have some rest, the emperor said to the nightingale. The visitors were thrilled. Finally, they said, a nightingale that looks as lovely as it sounds. The toy did not sound as beautiful as the nightingale. No one seemed to care. They asked for the toy to be wound over and over again. The nightingale no longer sang. He flew home to the forest. No one even noticed that the nightingale was gone. No one. That is, except for the emperor. He missed his dear friend. The emperor longed to hear the nightingale's beautiful song. I know my little friend likes the forest, he said. It is for the best. I just hope he's happy. The emperor's visitors were happy. They loved the toy bird's song. They especially loved the way it looked. Wind it again, they said. The emperor's servants wound the toy bird over and over again. It played all day. It played every day. It even played at night. But something popped inside the bird one morning. There was a loud twang. The toy bird stopped playing. The emperor shook the bird. The prime minister wiggled the key on its back. Everyone waited, but the toy bird would not play. It was broken. The emperor's watchmaker was summoned to the palace. He took the toy bird apart. He found out what was wrong. A spring has sprung, said the watchmaker. This toy is broken. Can you fix it? Asked the emperor. Of course, said the watchmaker. Will it take long? The prime minister asked. The visitors love it. Not long, said the watchmaker. But the special care must be taken. It should be wound only on special occasions. The palace became an unhappy place after that. There was no joy. No one came to visit anyone. The emperor was sad and lonely. He missed his friend, the nightingale. He missed his beautiful song. He missed his company. The emperor grew sick and weak. He stayed in bed. The guards could not cheer him up. The servants could not cheer him up. The gardeners could not even cheer him up with a rare flower. No one could help the emperor. No one, that is, except the head gardener. He knew the nightingale could help. He went to visit the nightingale. Your friend is ill, he said. You should go and see him. The nightingale flew to the emperor's window. The emperor rubbed his eyes. He smiled for the first time in a long time. You came back, he said. The nightingale opened its mouth and sang a new song for the emperor. Tears of joy streamed down the emperor's cheeks. It was the most beautiful song he had ever heard. He sat up in bed. The color returned to his face. He was happy to see his friend again. He knew he would hear the nightingale's sweet and special songs many more times.